exciting times that we've been in Nigeria, at least in my own generation. Every year we keep saying, things are different, and truly things are actually different. So, but this one now, this exciting times, Valentine's Day, let me even say the way some people will say it, Valentine's Day came and passed. The excitement was not like this, but this one, the tension in the air is palpable. Nevertheless, we anticipate that the 2023 general elections, which is just 4 days away, we trust that it will be peaceful, it will be a violence-free exercise. Say amen.
Amen.
I just let you know that yes, I've got guests in the building. We had to do on a lighter note because this one is very important now. It's very important, and I'm so excited because you ladies are answering 2 questions for me this afternoon. But I will not go too far. Let me introduce my guests this afternoon. On this round table, on Perspectives today, we are joined by 2 amazing young women. We're joined by Martina Prince-Will and Motunrayo. See, I had to save her name for last now because Motu and Ayo are all on the same block. I'm Adira, she's Motunrayo. I have a Motunrayo in my house also.
I'm beginning to be jealous.
Don't be. We're ensuring that the Ayo is generation by generation.
Yes, it has to go around.
Yes, that's the idea. So they are both from the Voter Education Department of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC FCT. Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so I said 2 things, Ba. I'm so excited that in the past, whenever we talk about INEC, I look forward to one day when the INEC was to be a woman. But I like that. It seems there's a lot of women in INEC. As in, tell me about that. What is the women inclusion? I know this is off the mark. This is not where you were expecting me to start from. It's just the excitement. I can't help myself, right? So is there are there so many, is there a balance in women as in staff in INEC?
Okay, is there a balance?
Do we have at least enough women?
We have more than enough women.
So that's what I honestly. So whenever in the past we hear, whenever we talk about INEC, I really don't see women, what they call it, on the forefront, at the forefront. It's only the men. In fact, on the day of election or when they're counting, but you see a lot of men.
Maybe you see coming up.
Yes,
women are coming up. We have some of our national commissioners that are women. We have our HODs that are women. So the women are coming up. Our national secretary for the commission is a woman.
You see, Ba?
So one day, maybe before the next election,
I like their spirit. So you see why I'm excited
Yes.
Honestly, so for some people that will say they have come again with their gender parity, it is important. Women are human beings in Nigeria. We keep saying that women are half the population all over the world. And so why will we, how they say you cannot drive a car with only 3 wheels now. You cannot drive with only 2 wheels. You need to do 4 wheels. 2 in front, 2 at the back. Do you understand? So for balance. And so whenever we raise this, what they call it, it's not to spite anyone in the face. It's the fact that there's one brain that is similar inside everybody. The brains are not different. So if you have a female doctor, you have a male doctor, they will do their job excellently well. Yes. And that's what we are always looking for. And so without further ado, let us enter the matter that has brought us to this table this afternoon. I'm so glad that the elections are 4 days away. We've been counting from 2 years ago. First of all, they said shouting, go and get your PVC. So tell me, the journey of the last 2 years, tell me that it's all going to accumulate in the next 4 days. Tell me what that has been like.
Well, we are very optimistic.
Yes.
And we're happy at the point with which we are now, believing that we have seen the way youth have turned out, both the old and the young. They've been out to register at first,
yes.
Then secondly collect their PVCs. So many people have collected theirs as at now, before it's actually closed. And I know and I'm sure that so many people are also looking forward to going out on Saturday to go and cast their vote to choose whoever they want to be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, you sound very optimistic, Motunrayo. And there's something you say. Is it different? I mean, you've been at INEC for how many years now?
For 10 years now.
And is this different, this 4 years now, is it different from the previous time when you joined INEC? Did more people really come out to get their PVCs this time around?
Yes, I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes. The participation has been higher.
Okay.
People have turned out for instance, looking at this last PVC collection exercise, from the day one, you see the crowd, the massive crowd coming out to collect their cards. It's very, very impressive compared to before, when people will wait for the dying minute, probably few days to go before rushing to collect. From the day one, you see the crowd, people are there, and they are making every effort to ensure that they collect their cards. So I believe that this time around is really, really going to be different. It's going to be, people are going to choose whoever they want to be the next president of this country.
All right, so not to rehearse our scripts, but in your own experience, Martina, so, do you feel the difference in the air as well?
Absolutely. When I go around town and I listen to people talk, you hear this saying, this election is a game changer. This election is the determinant.
Yes.
This election, people are looking at it as though it will bring that change people have been craving for, that change people have so long desired.
Yes.
So because of that, you see, all hands are on deck.
Yeah.
The youths, the women that over time used to be reluctant over election issues, they don't bother coming out for registration, not to even come out to pick up their cars. They will tell you, I beg, all sorts of I beg. But this time around, you see all of these women, the aged ones, mothers, grandmothers, everybody wants to, give their grandchildren a future in their words, so everybody is coming out to participate in this process. Women are carrying out lots of jingles to even sensitize their fellow women, to sensitize their children about the process. That's why during the PVC collection, like she said, I was amazed.
Yeah.
On the 12th of December, when the process started, I got to the office and I was like, wow, what is happening here? Could this be PVC collection this first day? The crowd was massive. When you see some people, when they pick up their card, I saw somebody collected his card and he did the sign of the cross.
Because it used to be in the past that, you will sweat tire.
He did the sign of the cross. I saw another person kneeling down. I was like, what excitement.
Wow.
So this period, this year is actually, for me, in their words, is really a changing process.
All right, so we're here for this. Abio, the time has come.
Yeah. It's 4 days away.
Yes, so it's 4 days away, and I'm glad that it's a new generation.
Yes.
Our parents have done their bits. It's our own son now, and I like the energy. Even the energy from both of you this morning. In fact, when you come, I thought maybe you people will look stressed. They've been talking since last year. Maybe they'll come here and say,
the general public is affecting us also.
I can imagine. So if you've just tuned in, you're listening to Perspectives here on Citizen FM 93.7, and I have with me as my guests in the studio this afternoon, Martina Princewell and Rayo Omtoso. They are both from the Voter Education Department of INEC FCT. Make una dey gather your questions to bombard them. Today is about voter education. If there's anything you don't understand, if there are any gray areas you have about the elections, what are you supposed to dress a certain way on Saturday? That is for first-time voters. Because I wanted to ask that question. Have you seen an influx of more first-time voters than in the past, or you had more people who are renewing their PVCs? Are there more first-time? Can you help me? Elaborate on that.
Well, I would say that we have more first-time
voters. Yes.
Yes, and we also have those who have registered before, probably lost their PVCs and needed it to be gotten back for them. So we have, but it's like a 50-50
chance. Okay, so but either way, you already established that more people actually came out than previous elections. Okay, so that's exciting times here. Don't forget, send us a message via WhatsApp on 0818 22 22 205 or 0808 22 22 037. So let us just go to the heart of the matter. When someone says voter education, what are they talking about? Is it educating the staff? Is it educating the populace? Is it educating who are we talking about? Is it and why is voter education important, not just for this election but the election process in Nigeria?
When we talk about voter education, we're not talking about the staff because we are the staff here.
Yes.
We have come to talk about this process. It means we're here to educate the public.
Yes.
We're here to educate those that doesn't know how to go about the process.
Who have never voted before?
Those that have never voted
before.
There are some that have voted before and yet not too acquainted with the process. Yes. Because INEC has come up with a lot of innovations and we need to tell the public about what all of these are. So the education is for the public.
Okay. So what is the number one rule for someone who is viable to vote in Nigeria? What is the number one rule that everybody should know?
The number one rule is that for you to be able to vote, for you to even find yourself in a polling unit, you must have a PVC.
That's one.
If you don't have your PVC, there is no point going to the polling unit. The polling unit is not a cinema ground for you to go and watch movie. For you to find yourself there, ensure you are with your PVC, not just with your PVC, ensure you are at the right polling unit where you ought to vote. Don't hold your PVC and go to a different place where you're not supposed to vote.
Okay.
Yes.
So that polling unit, since we're already traveling along now, when do you discover your polling unit? Is it on the day of election or on the day you collect your PVC? Is that the thing that you look out for? Because right now, everybody should have their PVCs, right?
Yes.
But does everybody know their polling units now?
Yes, everybody's supposed to know their polling unit as of now.
Okay.
First of all, when you are registering, the registrants will definitely ask you, where would you like to vote?
Good.
And the registrants will also ask you where you live.
Yes.
So they try to put your polling unit or put you in a polling unit that is close to where you live, so that it will be easily accessible to you.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Now, secondly, presently, because of some polling units that are overpopulated, INEC is trying to depopulate some polling units to make the process seamless. And for that to take place, we're sending you have to visit. There's a particular website you're supposed to visit.
Okay.
To tell you where exactly your polling unit is, in case you've been removed from the polling unit where you are.
Okay.
Now, if you have been removed from that polling unit, you'll be put in a polling unit that's closest to that particular polling unit where you were previously allocated before. Now, the website is www.inecelectionsresult. Sorry, www.voters, let me call it out for you so that you can get it, because once you are able to get the right information get the right information, all you do is just put in your details, and once you put in your details, you get the location, the exact location where you are being put now. That is the location that is different from where you were before. That's www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS. Let me repeat it again. www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS.
Okay, so that any day now, all this should be done before Saturday.
Yes, please.
To verify that. Okay, have I been removed, so that you don't go there on Saturday and then discover that you've been sent somewhere else.
Yes.
So this is why. But apart from this your media tour, is there any social media platforms that anybody can get? Are you pushing this information out as fast as possible so that all those who have been relocated, will they send text messages? Are you calling them?
Yes, people have been getting several messages to this effect.
Okay.
Even I myself, that is not going to vote on that day, I also got that information, concerning the change of polling unit. So many people have gotten it, and the information is out there. It's on radio, it's on TV, and
that. So I like that we've landed on polling units. There was a bit of what will I call it now? Small fracas last week when the INEC chairman announced that 204 polling units will not be were cancelled or something. Yeah, there was that announcement, and so people were wondering, they have removed it in so part of the country, and it's because they're trying to, there's a lot of fake news going on. But I know he announced that. Why did they cancel 204 polling units?
Okay, I would say that those polling units were cancelled because there was no voter in those polling units. No registered voters in those polling units. That was why it was cancelled.
Okay, could they have silently not just said anything about it instead? Because right now there's a lot of discussion going on about it, saying it was deliberate, it was intentional, they're trying to shortchange me. I know that's not because INEC has actually shown integrity thus far, and so what do you call it now? What's that word now? There's no bias. Nobody can say INEC should change them, or this is not
we're not for anybody.
Hey, you have just taken it out of my mouth. You know what I was trying to say. You understand? And so I'm glad that the INEC chairman also clarified over and over again. But I would really like for you, for emphasis sake, to say that here, that it wasn't because they were trying to change any region. No. It was not based on ethnicity.
It wasn't to disenfranchise anybody.
Okay.
Those units are called zero polling units. Okay. There are no registered voters
in those polling units.
Okay, but how do you explain that they say it was in one particular region, that it wasn't in the north, it was in the south, that it was in one particular region? Was there a problem in the first place, and why did it take so long to remove it?
Okay, I would say that I'm not sure that it's just in one particular region. I think it's all across. Recently some new polling units were created.
Yes.
Just to make the exercise seamless.
Easier for everyone.
Yes. And as a result, now that's why this decongestion process is going on, where we are putting people in different polling units to make it easier. And there are still some polling units that still don't have registered voters.
Yes.
Now, instead of those polling units to be there empty and officials to still be sent to those places to conduct election with nobody, we rather scrap the polling units. That's the essence of the removal.
So
of
there won't be confusion that results are coming from that area.
Yes.
Okay.
But then on this matter, nobody has come up to say I was in this polling unit originally and I am disenfranchised.
Exactly.
So
it's all really part. How do you sift fake news, and how do you handle all of that when it comes to that? I mean, how do you handle that pressure when you people put out an information and then people just distort it? How do you manage it?
Fake news in Nigeria is something that happens. So when we get such information, we investigate to know the source, if it is rightly from the commission. Okay. If it's not from the commission, we just put a message across, this is not from the commission. Yes.
Okay, so I want to take our voter exercise to voter education talk to somewhere else now. Before we came into the studio, I was chatting to you, we watched an advertisement on TV, and it was one of the observations that I've had for a while in Nigeria. When you watch movies from different parts of the world, you see how it's very inclusive. They can shoot an entire movie about a person who is visually impaired. Yes. They can shoot an entire movie about someone who is who cannot speak. They can shoot an entire movie about albinism. But you see, in our own Nigeria, it's very rare. No, there's a particular advert from a South African, channel, where the father and the daughter, the father is visually impaired, and the daughter, of course, led him to a restaurant, and without his sight, he could tell what spices. She'll put up one spice and say, oh, that's cinnamon. Or she'll put another spice, oh, so that's bay leaf. You understand? So they make life that so someone who is who has persons with disability around them feels included when they see that kind of advert. So until this particular one we saw today, I have not seen an advert that is very inclusive. So I want to bring that to election, what they call it now. 2 years ago, when the election buzz started, 2023, we're going to the general polls, there was a lot of talk about having persons with disabilities included in the primaries, in whatever phase. Collect your PVC, collect your know your polling unit. What plans? Election day is 4 days away. What plans does INEC have for persons with disability, whether they're living with albinism, whether they're living with, they're visually impaired, whether they they cannot speak? So what plans does INEC have for persons with disability?
The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, has a special interest with people living with disabilities.
Persons with disabilities, because they will soon come and catch us. They say it's persons with disability.
So sorry. Persons living with disabilities.
Persons with disabilities. No living.
Okay.
PWDs.
All right. PWDs.
Yes.
Persons with disabilities. To the point that there is a unit created to handle these persons.
Okay.
Yes. Going further, the commission has also gone far to the process of, bringing these persons close. We've had series of meetings with them. We call them, speak with them. Apart from that, on the election day, they are not going to be excluded. There are provisions made for them. Provisions like, I'm coming, there is Braille ballot guide.
Okay.
Yes, to assist them with voting.
That's for the people who are visually impaired.
Yes, for visually impaired, to assist them with voting. And when they get to the polling unit, for those that cannot, that are deaf, there will be photographic inscriptions for them to see how the voting process will go. So once they look at the poster, they know how to go about the process. For those with albinism, there are magnifying glasses that will be provided for them so that they can also see clearly to, participate in the elections.
Okay, so but there's no physical staff from INEC who will be at this, just the material, so you can go there personally, do your business.
No INEC staff is permitted to guide them through any process.
Emphasis, please emphasize on that.
No INEC staff is allowed to guide them through any process, because you may be seen as becoming partisan. Yes. Yeah. So if they cannot handle it themselves, they are allowed to bring with any family member they so trust that can guide them, but no INEC staff is allowed and permitted to guide anybody, not just the visually impaired, even the normal human beings.
Normal. We will find you. So everyone, no INEC staff is permitted to guide anyone. Everything will be paid. So please describe to me. So for persons with disability, there's a particular part at the polling booth where you have all the descriptions.
On how to go about the process of voting.
Okay.
Yes.
So persons
just look at it. You see from step 1, step 2, step 3, how you need to go about it till the end of it.
Do we have quite a number of people, persons with disability, who registered for this year's election?
Yes.
Okay.
A whole lot of them. And even during let me add a little to what she said.
Yes.
During the election, the persons with disability are not expected to queue in the same line with every other person, knowing how unique the situation is. So what we do is they are allowed to come forward to maintain the different line entirely, so that they can easily vote and go. Okay. Go. So that's about that. And we have enough of them. Even during this card collection process, several of them came to collect their card. I can remember the last time we came on here, a man was actually calling to say he couldn't get his PVC. And at the end of the day, he was able to get it. That was a very good one.
That's good feedback for you.
Yes.
So I'm glad that INEC has taken inclusion to another level. I'm glad to hear about the Braille ballot paper, because it was on this show. On this show a few months ago. We talked about how living with persons with disability in Nigeria are often shortchanged. I mean, you go to schools, there's no Braille paper, but I'm glad that we have taken inclusion to the national level, and so it's commendable. It's actually quite commendable.
Thank you.
Then magnifying glasses for those persons with albinism. So I look forward to the outcome on election day. I want to hear this feedback when people say, okay, I voted, in spite of the whatever circumstances. So let's take it to the next level now. My friend said I should ask you people about beavers because beavers is the new gist on the block.
Yes.
A few years ago, when there was an argument, we want beavers. That was 2019 now. The Senate was saying no, they should throw it out. Do you remember?
We used card readers.
Yeah, we used card readers then, and a lot of card readers were obsolete. So let's talk about beavers. How is beavers going to up the game for us as opposed to 2019 when it was a no?
Okay, looking at the beavers, we are actually happy that the beavers is here.
Yes. Because
the beavers has so many functions. It's actually a development from our previous card reader.
Okay.
With the beavers, there's whoever comes there, nobody can come and impersonate another person.
Good.
With the beavers, you can easily come. If your thumbprint wouldn't go, then your facial recognition will be there. So the fact that if the beaver still rejects you, then definitely probably you're not the owner of that particular card. Yeah. So BVAS eliminates impersonation.
Beautiful.
That's one thing. Then secondly, with the BVAS, the results can be uploaded on time.
Okay.
To our portal.
Yeah.
You know, not until when you get to wherever you're going, not until when the entire result is being collated. No, but the BVAS, immediately after the election, it's uploaded and sent to the IREV. So that's another thing about the BVAS. The BVAS is fast and it's an up-to-date technology. So we believe that with the BVAS, your vote will count.
My goodness, if you're running for office, I'll vote for you.
The BVAS is a game changer.
It is the game changer in 2023. I'm glad how Nigerians we insisted in 2019. It was so many people were opposed to it, but it was used in Osun State.
Yes.
Even though that is still in court right now, there's
it's
a lot
not
of
the BVAS that is the issue in Osun State.
Oh well, how did they get the information? But let's leave Osun out of it. Let's focus on voter education. So thank you so much, Moturayo and Martina. It's not over yet, so we're still going. I honestly really invite you right now to ask them whatever questions it is. What time you're supposed to get to the polling unit? These are the kind of questions that you should ask. What you're expected to do. So Saturday morning is election day. What time is election expected to start? What time is it expected to end? These are all our expectations. So
the election starts 8:30 a.m.
A.m. Okay.
Yes. And it ends by 2:30 p.m. Now, if you are still on the queue by 2:30 p.m., it doesn't mean that because it's 2:30, you'll be sent away.
Okay.
You'll still be allowed to vote. The only thing is, if you are coming to the polling unit by 2:30, you will not be allowed to join the queue anymore, because once it's 2:30, the security personnel will stand behind
the last
person on the queue.
Okay.
Yes. So the election time is 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Okay. So we have heard it too. If it passes 2 o'clock, what are you even waiting for?
Women, please wake up in time that day.
Talk to your people.
Please, it's just that day, Try and wake up, even if it's 4 a.m. Prepare your house, prepare your children, so you'll be able to go out and join the queue and vote early, and also come back to attend to your family issues. Don't wait until you are finished sweeping and mopping and doing everything. It's just that Saturday. Your house can still be clean.
And funny enough, accreditation can be done at the same time, and immediately after that you vote. You don't need to wait.
Because usually accreditation is the one that takes so long. So I'm trying to electoral officer, but the person that is usually at the polling unit, what they call them?
Presiding officer,
yes. PO.
Yes.
So he has not come here. Who is now the EO? Who is AEO?
Okay, the EO is the electoral officer. Is the one, he or she is the one in charge of the whole area council.
Okay.
Is the head of the area council. So he or she would not be at the polling unit.
Okay.
The PO, the presiding officer, will be the one at the polling unit. We have PO1, we have APO, assistant presiding officer 1, 2, and 3. So we are having 4 polling officials in that place. So they are the ones conducting the election in that particular polling unit.
Okay, so what they do is you come before them, they accredit. What's that process?
Okay, now the accreditation process is simple. You come when you're on the queue. When it's your turn, they'll call you. You give them your PVC. They'll look through it to be sure you are actually the one. Then impute your details into the BVAS. Then snap you with it, and probably maybe ask you to put your thumb on it to be sure that you're actually the owner of it. Once the BVAS accredits you, you go to the next place. You'll be given your ballot paper, you thumbprint, your ballot paper will be signed on, and after that you are through, you can go.
How do you do? I saw in what they call it, an advert a few days ago talking about how to take care of your ballot paper. But I want you to hold that thought. I have to go on a quick commercial break. When I come back, you educate us more on the ballot paper, because it's very important. Most people actually don't know, how you can engage in something called double voting. Yes. I don't know what that is, but I know you will enlighten us.
All right.
I will take this quick break. I'll be right back.
This call to prayer is sponsored by the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
93.7 Citizen FM.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station.
We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
We teach girls shame. Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
So I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it. We're all doing it because we're asking to try and elicit change.
No woman should sit down and allow a man to speak about her reproductive rights.
But it is about opening spaces for other women and not to be seen as token, and that because I'm a woman, I'm only speaking about women at the table. No, I'm speaking about side of the table that is empty and that women have to be there. So
I want us to leave this world better than we found it. And how I choose to affect change is by speaking up, by being the first, and by being the dominant.
Over 4 billion of the world's population are girls. and women, also faced with challenges that affect our world and contributing solutions to them. Let's have conversations and get some answers to them through their eyes and voices. Tune in to Perspectives, where we discuss important issues ranging from climate change, politics, health, the economy, and lifestyle on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Weekdays from midday. Perspectives. Conversations that matter.
This is 90.
We are the future. We are the dream. We are the nation. We are part of this.
I will never stop playing T.Y. Bellows' The Future. 11 years ago, this song was very, 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 what's that word? It was very key to Nigerian deciding who the next president would be at that time. This is what, 2015? No, yeah, it's way, way, way longer than that, because before then she had given us The Land is Green. And so T.Y. Bello has consistently spoken into the heart of this nation. And so I will always acknowledge this song, especially at a time like this. These are songs we should listen to, not songs that would stir the polity to violence. So please, make una tone them down, listen to songs like this. That's why I started off with Timi Dakolo's Everything You Put Your Hand Go Walk, because there's nobody that does not want to prosper, right? And so it's the same thing. We are Nigeria. Nigeria is us. And the peace of Nigeria, the prosperity of Nigeria is the prosperity of all. Welcome back. You're listening to Perspectives here on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. You've been hearing the beautiful voices of Martina Princeville and Motsurayo Latunde of the Voter Education Department for INEC FCT. And they've been enlightening us on what to expect, voting rights, voters' responsibility on D-Day, which is just 4 days away. Saturday, the 25th of February, is here already. And so before we went on the break, you were going to talk about Motorayo, are you still with me in the studios?
Yes,
don't drift off. Yes, so I'd asked you a question. I said, hold that thought. I don't want to, what's that word now? I didn't want you to lose that train of thought. So please go ahead.
So we're talking about voting procedure.
Procedure, yes.
On election day.
Yes.
And I made mention of everyone coming with your... We spoke about beavers.
Yes.
Beavers being the game changer.
Yes.
And whoever is coming to vote must come with their PVC, she said so.
Yes.
Must come with their PVC. And on that day, after voting, please go back. And if you still want to stay around, then you have to be some meters away to ensure that the place is not overcrowded and to ensure some level of sanity. At least those who are working should be given some free space to do whatever they needed.
But how can you ensure that? Nigerians want to, the people that come and run commentary at polling units, you've gotten, I don't vote, so it can remain like 20 people. Are you sure people will still not do that again this year? They'll tell you, oh, there are 10 people on the queue left, or maybe 100 people. And then from that, they can just upload results and tell you that, oh, they can conclude that in this, their polling unit, it is Martina that won.
Well, how would you come to such conclusion? That you voted as an individual doesn't mean the result is counted and sorted and concluded. There are those actually that would exhibit such behaviors. That is why we're here talking to them, talking to our mothers, our parents out there. Please help us talk to your children. Young adults, please help us and also listen.
Yeah.
The polling unit is not a place where you should go and act drama or cause any form of rancor.
Yeah.
It's for voting. Let it be for voting. Go there, cast your vote as expected, and go home. The result viewing portal will be launched any moment. You can sit in the comfort of your home and watch the results.
From your mobile phones?
Yes.
Okay.
The way the results are coming in. From your polling units, you observe it. But peradventure, there are those that want to see how it is happening live and directing. You're expected to stay 300 meters away, at least from the, polling booths. Stand with your friends and watch from afar. You're standing there doesn't mean you should cause problems.
Or run commentary.
No, it's not allowed.
Okay.
You're not supposed to be involved in any form of vote buying, selling, and pricing. Please, just be of good behavior and stand afar off to watch the process.
And most of the political parties have their agents also there to ensure that their votes are properly counted and every other thing. So you don't need to fidget that probably because you are not standing there, something will happen to your vote or whatever.
Okay, so INEC is guaranteeing that their integrity is very, very, very important, and so they're telling you the things that you're supposed to do on election day. Biko, no, please listen. We don't want a burning nation. We've said it here before that the peace of Nigeria is the peace of all, and so this voting is just another electoral process. When you go to bank, you don't fight now. Ebi, it's true. When you go to your places of worship, you don't fight. So it's the same thing. Let's treat this process as a civil one. We call it civil responsibility now.
Yes.
So you have the message. This one says, good afternoon. Does the Beavers use rechargeable batteries? If not, is there enough provision to make sure the Beavers remains functional on election day? It's electricity. It's a big deal. This is Patrick in New Carroll.
Okay, let me answer that. Our Beavers use rechargeable battery. And the Beavers, before the election day, the batteries are properly charged. Even one battery can last for a whole day. Okay. And you also have spares in case that one runs out. And even most of the rack centers have generators to charge and recharge those Beavers. So the issue of the battery running down and not having a replacement is actually out of it.
It's because we're in Nigeria now. We have seen these things happen.
Mr.
Right?
Patrick, fair not. The Beavers can last more than 24 hours. We guarantee you that.
0818-2222-205, 0808-2222-037, or you can dial 0903-2229-797. We like 22 in this our station, there you can tell. And so we're going to read the news at the top of the hour any minute now, but if you have any message, if you have any questions for Moturayo and Martina, this is the time to send your questions in, or you can just dial our numbers. You can dial 0818-2222-205, or send a message via WhatsApp 0808-2222-037. So we're winding down the show. Once we read the news at the top of the hour, we'll come back and we'll take more messages. We'll be right back.
Citizen FM.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station.
We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
We teach girls.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja. Time for news on the hour.
It's 1 o'clock. Good afternoon, and thanks for staying with us here on Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Here's the news on the hour. The Nigerian Guild of Editors has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, security agencies and other stakeholders not to let the people down, as the nation is at the threshold of another democratic transition of government, with presidential and National Assembly elections scheduled for Saturday, February 25th, and governorships and states' houses of assembly polls for March 11th. In a communique signed by its presidents Mustafa Issa and the General Secretary Yobosa Ujare at the end of its standing committee in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, at the weekend, the umbrella of all editors in Nigeria said Nigerians desire that their votes will count and expect a free, fair, credible elections devoid of violence. The editors also called on the electoral body to ensure the secrecy of ballots by ensuring that its cubicles are well positioned to achieve this and cameras are kept away by voters while voting. The Lagos State government has announced travel advisory ahead of the All Progressives Congress mega rally scheduled to hold Tuesday at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. General Manager, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, Bolaji Oriagba, disclosed this in a statement. He said there will be a procession of APC presidential candidates, party stalwarts, party faithfuls and supporters from local airport to Teslim Balogun Stadium through the Mobology Bank, Anthony Way, Maryland, Ikorodu. He said the procession will pass through Idiroko, Anthony Village, Anthony Obanikoro, Onikpan, Fadeyi, Jibo, Ojuelegba, Barracks and Stadium. Oriagba implored motorists on alternative routes to use this during the procession. And on the foreign scene, flooding and landslides triggered by torrential rainfall in Brazil has claimed the life of at least 36 people on the Carnival weekend in southeast Sao Paulo state. TV and social media footage from the town of São Sebastião showed an entire neighborhood underwater. Debris from hillside houses swept away by oozing earth, flooded highways and cars destroyed by falling trees, among other damage. At least 35 people died in São Sebastião. The state government said a girl was also killed in the town of Ubatuba. The authorities did not give a figure of how many people are missing or injured. Sao Paulo State Governor Tarcísio de Freitas declared a state of emergency in 5 towns along the coast after flying over areas devastated by the weather. He freed up the equivalent of $1.5 million for rescue operations. And that's the Citizen FM News on the hour. It's now back on Perspective, where we're discussing voter education. Do stay with us. Thanks for listening. Good afternoon. The future is here. 4 more days till the 2023 general elections, and Martina and Muturayo were winding out on Perspectives this afternoon. They've been enlightening us. They've been taking it light with us, Abby. Yes. I like your cool, calm, collected mode. It's so anti-Nigerian. We like Basbos. Do you understand? So, but I like that. I mean, so it's psychological. When someone talks to you like the way you're talking right now, it makes them warm and receptive.
Calmly.
Yes, it does, So I'm really hoping that you're listening this afternoon and you're taking all the information that they're passing out, because it's important, so that on Saturday when you go to the polls, just do what you have to do there and leave. Don't stay back. Don't run commentary. And so I wanted to ask, I'd written out this question earlier. I probably even asked. I said, is there a text or a code to confirm your polling units? And I know you reeled out a particular
website.
Yes, a website. So, but please go ahead. You want to enlighten us more on that?
Okay. In order for you to locate and confirm your polling units before the election day,
yes,
all you need to do, there are 2 different steps. One of it, you can get it via SMS.
Okay.
You text your name, that's the name of your state, and your last name, and the 6 digits of your VIN number. That's the last 6 digits of the voter identification number on your card.
Yes.
You can text it to 090 62 83 0860.
Yeah.
I'll take it again. 090 62 83 0860 or 090 62 83 0861. You can do that to get your polling unit name. That's the particular location where you are now. That's the first one via SMS. Then the other one is via INEC website, which I gave before.
Please repeat it again.
Okay, www.voters.inecnigeria.org. Again, www.voters.inecnigeria.org or www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS to get your polling unit name.
So thank you so much, Moturayo. Thank you for that. So it's very important. If by now you don't know where your polling unit is, or she has just broken it down to make it easy, you're going to add something, Martina.
Yes, for the benefit of those that will be voting for the first time.
Yes.
There are some procedures, we've talked about it to an extent.
Yeah.
But I just want to add, like she said, at the polling units, when you are done with the queuing, you meet the APO1, who is in charge of the beavers, the one that handles the beavers. From him, you proceed to the APO2, who is in charge of the manual register.
Yeah.
Then you meet the presiding officer, who gives you your ballot paper. Now, ensure that the ballot paper you are given is properly signed, stamped and dated by the presiding officer. You know why? Because if out of excitement or whatever you collect a ballot paper that is not signed, stamped or dated, at the end of the day, when the ballot will be sorted, it will be counted as an invalid or rejected vote.
Okay.
Yeah, so ensure that this process at the back of the ballot paper is done. When you collect it, it will be folded for you. When you collect it, you go into the cubicle, you vote the party of your choice. After voting, please don't fold your ballot paper horizontally. The party, we have 18 political parties.
Yes.
The party logo is at the left side of the ballot paper. You have the space where you're supposed to
Let me
vote.
increase the mic. I want to loud this. Please go on. Sorry, I interrupted you.
So we have the political party logo and name at the left side of the ballot paper.
Okay.
It's actually long. Is it a triangular shape?
Yes, like a normal A4 paper, or is it bigger than that?
It will be longer. No,
it's longer.
It's smaller and longer than that. Yes.
Okay.
Because we have 18. Now at the right hand side, you have the space where you're supposed to thumbprint or do your voting.
Yes.
Now you are not expected to, after casting your vote, you're not expected to fold it horizontally. That's bringing it from head to bottom or bottom to head.
Okay.
The reason is because where you have voted, if you fold it that way, it could affect another party logo.
So you can vote twice.
By the time it is opened, yes, it will show two places that is being thumbprinted. It will be rejected. At that point, it will be said to be that your choice of vote is not clear.
Okay.
Yes, so it will be rejected or invalid.
Okay.
So after voting, you're expected to
close your hands.
Yes, fold it vertically. Fold it close, in or out.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if your vote stains your party logo.
Okay.
Yes. So you can fold it in or fold it out. Flatten it and drop it in the
ballot box.
The ballot box of the particular election. So be careful how you fold your ballot paper so that your sweat at the end of the day will not be a waste.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Moturayo, you were going to add?
What I will just add is, when you are thumbprinting, be sure you thumbprint in that particular box, not in between two boxes.
Okay.
If your party is CC, there's a box right in front of CC. You thumbprint inside that CC. If it spills to the next one, the same thing may still happen, may still be invalid or rejected. So let it be inside of it.
Thank you so much for that. You've been listening to the representatives from the INEC Department of Voter Education here in the PVC, in the FCT, I beg your pardon. And so we've talked about, pretty much everything concerning Saturday's elections. We've talked about what to expect. We've talked about persons with disabilities. We've talked about confirming, just a few minutes ago, she shared how you can confirm your polling unit. So please, just for clarity's sake, can you share that with us again? The text, the one one that you can receive via SMS and the one via website, because that's what that's left now. If by now you have not collected your PVC, we know you're not voting in 2023, right?
Yes.
So but if you don't know your polling, if you have your PVC, you don't know your polling units, this is the time that it is you that Motorayo is talking to right now. So pick out your pen and paper or bring out your phone so that you can take out this information.
Okay. If you are trying to verify via SMS, all you do is text the name of your state, then your last name, that is your surname, and the last 6 digits of your voter's identification number, that's the VIN number, the last 6 digits. You send it to 090-6283-0860. Let me take that again. 090-6283-0860 or 090-6283-0861. 090-6283-0861. That's for if you are trying to verify via SMS. Now, if it's through our INEC website, you go through www.voters.inecnigeria.org. Again, www.voters.inecnigeria.org or www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS to get your polling unit name.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Motorayo.
You're welcome.
The day is here. Where at the election holding? It is holding in how many? 176,874. No.
Local government.
Okay, no, go on. You were supposed to say something. I was about to, but for the past, I'm sure media houses they're like, we've had it up to here. If you carry every news bulletin for the past 1 year, one major story will be from INEC. So those I know it's 704 local governments.
I was about to say 774 local governments. 176,846 polling units across the federation.
And so these polling units are structured to make it easy for you. Please describe polling units because for you to access and cast your vote. You can only vote in just one polling unit. I think this is important to say.
Yes,
it's not even possible for you to leave your one area and go to another place to vote.
The Beavers is configured according to every.
Beavers is the game changer. Yes. You already said it.
The Beavers is configured according to every polling unit. So if you come to another polling unit that is not your polling unit, the Beavers will not accept your card. It will not read your card.
Please
your
note
card
that
is not for that polling unit.
Yes. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been I look forward to after the elections when tension don't count. Honestly. But maybe before you go, let's look at the future of voting in Nigeria. A lot of people still feel they are shortchanged because there's really nothing we can change about 2023.
Yes.
But about 2027, can we move to the point where I can vote anywhere I am? Other countries, everybody's asking for that right now, that if we are so technologically advanced, if from 2019 to 2023 we have moved from card readers to beavers, how about in 2027 we move to just thumb printing like we've done for every other thing?
It's very possible.
Okay.
And we are looking forward to that. Even to those in diaspora to be able to vote over there instead of coming down here and all that. We believe, this technology is developing from one stage to the other. So we are believing that by next 4 years, 8 years, it's going to be a bigger and greater innovation, which will make this voting process seamless.
That means you're also calling for more amendments.
Yes, to the policy.
Amending our electoral acts.
I think INEC is proof that structures, institutions, I think that's what I was trying to remember earlier on, institutions work. And if you put the right templates in place, things will just, roll, it will just fall in place gradually. INEC is actually proof of that.
We're getting there.
I know what's that, but it's not as if we have it all right. But it's commendable that our baby steps are not such big leaps that we are only capturing the elites. I like that INEC is inclusive. Our rural areas are, highly, because if I ever hear more people in rural areas vote than in the cities, I'm not sure. This is me saying, I don't know. Can you confirm that or not? Deny that? You will not say anything. I know it's you people. So but I like that you are carrying everyone along. Nobody is left behind.
Yes.
So I commend you for that. Honestly, I look forward to a peaceful election, not just for our, but for the country. That things are better. By 2027. Whatever the electoral year is. Everybody's focusing on presidential now. I've forgotten that there's one in March. It will come. It will come too. Yeah, B. Thank you so much, ladies. Any last words? We're wrapping up now. Any last words? Any you want to say to that one person out there? Please.
Okay. What I would say is, please go and vote. If you don't vote, you don't have any right to complain about the government. So go and vote.
Okay, Nigerians, this is your time. Make judicious use of this time.
Thank you very much, ladies. I appreciate you coming out today on such short notice. We appreciate you so much.
Us.
Enjoy the rest of your day and wish you all success on election day.
Thank you.
Close your legs, cover yourself. We make them feel as though by being born female, they're already guilty of something.
So I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it. We're all doing it because we're asking to try and elicit change.
No woman should sit down and allow a man to speak about her reproductive rights.
But it is about opening spaces for other women and not to be seen as token, and that because I'm a woman, I'm only speaking about women at the table. No, I'm speaking about side of the table that is empty, and that women have to be